Alright. Let's get started. Would everyone just calm down? We are calm. The only one pitching a fit here is Lynera, as usual. I am not pitching a fit. I'm trying to help Branaya keep everyone in order. Lynera, stop. Really? Because what it sounds like is you're kicking up a mob to get me called. I should have known the second we were out of the cave you'd try and get me thrown off the train, you backstabbing little bitch. No one will have to throw anyone off any trains if you just tell us where the book is! I don't have to say shit about shit. Daria. I'm gonna go with Daria because that's the reference. Please, just tell us what happened to the book. And hold on one moment, I need to adjust the volume when I get the chance. It's a bit loud. Okay, that's better. If you say that you're innocent, I promise to believe you. But you have to say something. I'm not dignifying anything that comes out of that brown noser's pathetic ignorance gash. Yeah, me too. I'm glad to be better. Glad to be back. Lynera's ignorance of gashes is, as always, what's caused this entire mess. What is that supposed to mean? Lank, Daria, don't gang up on her. Why the fuck not? She's trying to get you to gang up on me. I didn't even want to come on this stupid field trip. Can't you see this is a set? Shh, everyone. Look. Oh, don't mind us. Now look what you've done. That's it. I'm out. Don't talk to me unless you got something to say to my face this time. I wonder what that was all about. It's better not to worry about it. Cloistered jades are always like this. Cloistered? Are they nuns? Is that why they're wearing Catholic school uniforms? I don't know what the C word means, but yeah, they're supposed to become nuns when they grow up. Wait, do both of our planets have nuns? Are nuns a universal constant? Wow, we found something in common. Does it mean you also have caves full of children tending to trial pits and aiding in the mother grub breeding process? No. Oh, okay. I should probably let you know that there are teals in this cartoon, and teals are stereotyped as very law-abiding. So don't do anything illegal. Weird. Well, we'll just mind our own business and keep going. These don't go in there. These lockers are in much nicer shape than all the lockers at your school. They are unsurprisingly locked. You need a key. None of the lower blood cars had lockers. Typical. They're lockers. This juice isn't getting in these lockers. That's not how liquid works. That's too thick to slip in there. Too many plays. The FLARP manual is useful in all parts of life. except this one. Unfortunately, your psionics are only for moving objects, not opening them. That's a lie. You opened a lock earlier. Oh boy, that would be very loud. It's better not to do anything to provoke the high bloods. No idea how that'll help anything. Nothing in this that'll help. Let's just not put him through any more trauma than he suffered. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna... I shouldn't do the whole thing. You're good, but not even you can tap dance on a vertical surface. Not sure you can pirouette on any surface either. A pog for every locker. No, not really. You should hang on to these. Not even the sauciest bee could coax these doors open without the proper key. Don't be wasteful. These people are already spicy enough without you adding to the mix. Oh, geez. That boy is watching you like you don't belong here. Not in a you are obviously an alien way. In an it's impossible you could ever say have anything interesting to say way. She looks way too cool for school. At least too cool for your school. That's Zephyros. Ah, that sweater vest, though. She's so little. You know trolls don't have parents, but it's hard to suppress the urge to take her hand and ask her if she needs help finding her mommy. You like her hair. You once dyed yours purple a couple of days before your dad came home, just to tick him off. He didn't even notice. Jade hierarchy isn't based on age, you're pretty sure? It's based on a rigorous set of examinations that young ladies undergo as wrigglers. This isn't the kind of posting you... It isn't the kind of posting you turn down. You aren't used to seeing this many Jades in one place. That one has a knife! Cool. You aren't sure how young Jades joined the cloisters. Maybe it depends on the Jade. She looks mad and stressed out, and talking to her is probably going to make that worse. Wow, is that a male Jade blood? I'm sorry. Why are you talking to me? I just thought we'd say hi. Well, don't. Okay, bye then. Jerk. Typical. Everyone knows it was you, Daria. Just admit it and this can all be over. Eat nutritional excrement, ass kisser. Branya, did you hear what she just called me? Please, everyone, let's stay positive and try not to point fingers. Shh, I'm pretending to read while trying to eavesdrop. I am very sorry that you had to witness that. It's fine. Do you want to talk about it? Absolutely not. Jades do not discuss internal politics with outsiders. Because, 1, it is our personal affair and we should not have rubbed everyone's proverbial noses in it. 2, I am trying very hard to have a pleasant holiday with my best friends. And 3, no offense, it's none of your business. You wonder if that sword is real. Actually, what the heck are you thinking? Of course it's real. He looks like one of those dudes who tries to own you online. It's not that difficult, really. You don't know what this Teal Blood's deal is, but she intimidates you. She looks so tired. Teal Bloods all work themselves to death, even though they really have no reason to. You don't know him, but you feel like you've seen him before. Or maybe he's just a manifestation of all the stereotypical Teal attributes that it just feels that way. He looks kind of intimidating, but his hair is very shiny. She keeps drinking from that little white mug. Probably coffee. Do they have coffee here? That's a totally wild outfit, but she is really pulling it off. Those shoes. You wouldn't be able to walk a single step in those. A lone, mysterious bladesman watches the two low bloods pass. They can feel his piercing gaze, sizing them up, assessing their weak spots with calculated ease. Is that guy narrating what he's doing? Let's just ignore him for now. I can't believe this. What? Can you believe this? Whatever you say. Darling, you weren't even listening to me. Unless you want to take my cruelest bar exam from me, leave me alone. My. An afternoon out with a flock of jade bloods is better than any episode of sterilization scrub operatics. They're really dedicated to their color scheme in here, that's for sure. These are the Teal Blood lockers. It's the door to the next car. This is the second cleanest bathroom you've seen yet. Which isn't saying much, because mostly you've seen 3 of them so far, but like the great sage Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You don't need to go. You're not even sure you're allowed to use this one. You should have used Marsty's when you had the chance. We should leave before we get caught up in any drama. Bit late for that. Did someone lose a book? When I tried to wash my hands, this popped out of the moisture evaporation unit. It looks, very private? Give that to me! Yeep! This is it. It's the book! In which the seductive anti-hero Batfin Luna becomes endowed with the forbidden curse of the Rainbow Drinker, featuring 1 long, bright journey into the desert, 6 elaborate hurt/comfort scenes, forbidden ideas about eternal youth, 10 characters with beautiful hair, 1 death scene, 500 knowing glances, 2 sexy punch bowls filled with blood, 1 spicy meatball, 4 absolutely no clowns, literally so many corpses it might be offensive, the ever-present threat of reaching adulthood and ascending to space nundom, eggs, and 3 long make-out paragraphs and 2 love triangles in a dangerously vacillating set of quadrants. Otherwise known as Fresh Teeth, Book 5 of the Rainbow Emotion Saga. Reading Fresh Teeth in the load gate, Daria? Really? That's perverse even for you. Would you just stuff fresh teeth up your nook already? This fighting isn't getting us anywhere. I'll say perhaps you could use some outside arbitration to resolve this conflict in an orderly and lawful and objective fashion. No offense, Stells, but I'd rather stick a nutritional prong directly into my eye socket than get involved in this. Darling, just think of it as a trial run for your cruelest bar exam. Never hurts to get more practice. The fact that I don't fall for such cut rate manipulation is why I'm pretty confident I'm gonna pass it just fine without. You are determined at all times to be impossible. Please, miss, I would like to try and keep this issue internal, if you don't mind. Try harder! Why are you all fussing over some book anyway? It's not just any book. The Rainbow Emotion Saga is a profane set of religious texts that our cloister has been charged with protecting. The fact that it left our cavern in the first place is a first-rate violation of imperial law. A violation of which law, dear, please? Elaborate. Oh no. Nice job, Boot Breath. Oh. Could I maybe just get another look at it before... Why, so you can defile it more? Too bad. The thief already tore out all the naughty pages. Lynera. We're going to be in so much trouble. Not if Lynera shuts her crusty trap, we won't. No! I am sick of this! As Jades, we have a duty to preserve the culture of Alternia and pass it on to the next generation. Bronya understands the importance of the sacred calling, but the rest of you undermine her at every step. Bronya is... she's so kind and understanding. It would kill her to know the true depths of how much the lot of you despise our work. Lynera, I can speak for myself. I know, Bronya, but just this once let me speak for you. If one must wear the crown, then they need someone who can help wield the whip. And I'm the whip. Is everyone else hearing this? Be quiet, Lank. I won't be bullied by you anymore. This stops now. Whoever defiled this divine artifact, step forward right now. Or this is gonna get it's going to get very bad. That's a promise. Yo, what's up, buddies? Hey, no need to stop on my account, diggity dogs. What's all this noise I'm hearing about a religious what's-it? An important religious what's-it? Oh, shit. Well... You really never know when to shut up. It's nothing, sir. Just Jays being Jays. How may I help you this evening? Help me? You think I need help? Oh, no, not at all, sir. We're just trying to extend a helping hand. We didn't mean to cause offense. Nah, it's cool, bud. I was just out for a stroll. It's easy to get bored on such a long trip, right? But it sounds like you buddies are gearing up for a real rollicker of a trial here. Don't go and tell me you guys just boring like the other cars. Of course we are, sir. I mean, of course we are. We are. Not boring, that is. Oh? Use your words, Stells. What I meant to say is we are currently in progress of setting up a tribunal on the spot to deal with this incident of thievery that's come to our notice. But we were at a loss without a high blood of your caliber to judge the pizzazz of an upcoming trial. Excuse me. Me? Dear darling Tysius, why don't you tell him all about it? He looks kind of intimidating, but his hair is very shiny. Pigtails! You used to have pigtails. Then you lost your mom and there was no one to help you put them up. If I knew it was that book. This kid is so high-strung, you're worried she'll try to chew on these if you give them to her. Sorry, I'm only interested in suppressing truly subversive literature. It's nice that he wants to help, but you can't help thinking that he's making everything worse. Let me just go ahead and close my other browser windows because that's slowing the game down a bit. Alright, that's much better. She looks so exhausted. Do you feel bad for her? What's up, Joe? Nice to see your toothy mug again. It's nice to see yours again, too. I don't think we have time to stop and chat. Can we just sneak by? Oh, you kept making incorrect assumptions? Yeah. They did put a lot of detail into this one. I think they did a pretty decent job considering they didn't use the Phoenix Wright engine at all. No can do, buddy. You see, Tyzia's been chatting me up about heinous courtroom biz. Hey, Tyz, tell him about it, lol. Shit's fucking wild. The long and short of it is that I want to begin a trial. Who stole the book Courtroom Drama? But instead of handling it in the traditional Alternian way, we test out my theory of defensive legislation, where the accused has their own legislacerator. Defense legislacerator, where his honorable tyranny is no mindless monster, but a judge, and where the accused is innocent until proven guilty. Holy shit. Zizi, no, sweetheart, you can't say these sorts of things in front of these sorts of people. It's heretical and illegal. Yeah. Shit's crazy. Shit's crazy indeed. That's why we need you, Joe. See, the Jades accused Daria of stealing the book Fresh Teeth and then stashing it in the load gaper. So we need a neutral third party to defend Daria, and you're the optimal choice. What? You want me to be a lawyer? I didn't go to law school. Heck, I've barely even been to high school. Nah, but you don't need any fancy schooling. You're more than equipped just the way you are. Really? Wow. Well, Zizi, I guess if even the most qualified among us isn't calling you on site for your absurd ideas, then I suppose that is a thing that is happening. So if a little low-blood darling right here is the defense and Marvis is the honorable tyranny, then who in the world will be the so-called prosecution? You, of course, since you're so eager to please. Oh. Well, wait. I haven't agreed to this. Joe, if you do this for me, I'll make sure you get through the rest of the train. Unmolested. I can't
argue with that. I guess. Maybe I'll really like being a defense lawyer.
That's the spirit. Come to me if you've got any questions about what to do. Alright. She seems angry, but you don't think she's a bad person. Let's talk to our defendant first.
Daria? Could we ask you a few questions?
Yeah, whatever. Did you do it?
Zephyros! You can't just ask that.
Oh. Why not?
Because she's our client.
Oh my god. I feel bad for the stenographers in Alternia who have to account for everyone's quirks.
It's our job to believe that she's innocent. We can't ask her anything that would incriminate her.
Why?
You're considered innocent until somebody proves you guilty.
Sounds fake, but whatever. I didn't do it, but Lynera thinks I want to fill pails with Branya, so she's not going to change her story. And that teal blood with an industrial metallic cylinder up her nook is going to believe whatever she thinks will make the clown happy.
Could we ask you some more questions?
Fine.
About the Jades. So, all the other green bloods, you're all family?
What?
I mean, you live together.
Oh, yeah. We all got chosen for Cloister when we were barely older than Wigglers. We're the fucking special ones who gotta take care of the mother grub in all its business cavern to grave. Not all Jades get chosen, but apparently we're the purest of the pure.
Wow.
Huh, right? One look at Lank and that any theory anybody has for that Cloister falls apart. That guy hatched, crawled right back into a bucket, and never came back out.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, everyone who lives in the cavern's a steaming pile of garbage.
Can you not leave?
Who the fuck are you, kid?
I'm just very stupid.
Whatever. Yeah, we can't leave. Do you know what cloistered means? It means these assholes are the only trolls I'm gonna see before I leave the planet. It's not like we can just sneak out. We'd be killed by drones. Literally the only fucking time we're allowed to leave that shithole is Jivik Week, and even that's new. You'd be bitter too. I agree. I would be bitter.
Could we ask you some more questions?
Fine.
About Lynera. So, about Lynera.
What about her? She sucks. Not really anything else I can say. She wants to get me culled. She's absolutely convinced herself that I'm trying to fuck Branya. Are you? No. You think I'm trying to get with any of these losers I see literally every day? I've been down that road before. I'm over it. You've been down that road before? With who? With who? Oh shit, I haven't been recording. Whatever. I'll use the stream recording. It'll be fine. I'll just splice it in. It'll be like low quality.
Could we ask you some more questions?
Fine.
About the book. So this book that everyone's so worried about, Fresh Teeth?
It's so fucking stupid. Fresh Teeth isn't even that dirty. I see way worse shit on the internet. It's like embarrassingly bad.
Wait, how do you know that?
Yeah, isn't it forbidden? Please. It's usually just sitting there in the cloister library. I'm definitely not the only one who's looked through it. Which is why this whole situation is stupid.
Well, you've got absolutely nothing to say on him. He's way too good looking and rude to waste any time on. Are you sure about that? Let's waste some time on him. Can we ask you some questions for the trial?
Make it quick.
What do you think about this whole situation? That Branya is naive if she thinks this is what it looks like on the surface. And that Lynera could stand to get paled. What is that supposed to mean?
My suggestion would be that you talk to everyone here before making any snap judgments.
That's a good idea. Can we ask you some questions for the trial?
Make it quick.
What is your take on the other Jades?
My take?
Yeah, you know. What do you feel about the rest of your, traveling companions?
Very little.
Wow. You're helpful.
Quite.
So, do you believe Daria did it?
You know, I just can't quite bring myself to care. This is going nowhere. Glad to be of help.
You get the idea Lynera would do well at your school. He's got that same air of hungry violence that all the most popular girls have. Go away, I'm not a suspect. Do we have to talk to her? She looks like she might knife us. Will you give a statement? Do you mind giving us a statement? Yes, I mind. I find it offensive that you would think I have something to hide. Daria is the culprit, plain and simple. But Daria has no reason to steal anything. And I don't think she's the type to stir up a scene for yucks. So what would she have to gain? She would gain tingly feelings in areas we'd best not talk about. Daria is a nasty, pervert bitch. And that's all I have to say on the matter. Jesus Christ. Haven't you had enough already? We want to know a little bit more about your friends, I guess? Can you even call them that? We're cloister mates. I can assure you that there's no stronger connection in this world than between Jades and a cloister. Even though Wanshi is an irresponsible mess who reads too much deplorable literature. And Daria is a nasty thief who never respects the rules. And Link is a disgusting party boy slut who participates in degenerate activities. These frictions are just trials to test our faith and commitment to our duty. I am so grateful to my cloister mates for providing me endless opportunities to prove my strength and loyalty. We have an unbreakable bond of blood and tradition that binds us more closely than any quadrant.
Jesus Christ, Lynera. Wow, it sounds like you guys love each other a lot.
Well, alright then. Haven't you had enough already? Why do you care so much? Why are you so passionate about this? You're making a big stink about it, and I don't understand why. What do you mean? Justice must be called down upon Daria.
But Daria is your cloister mate. Do you not care about her?
What matters most is what's best for the whole cloister.
How is going through this trial going to help your cloister?
Look, I am only doing this to help Branya. She is the shining star that lights our way in these dark caverns. It's about time that there were some consequences for how they treat her.
Okay, so you're definitely flushed for Branya.
Oh, she's so little. You know trolls don't have parents, but it's hard to suppress the urge to take her hand and ask her help if she needs help finding her mommy. Oh, hi! I guess you want to talk about Fresh Teeth, Book 5 of the Rainbow Emotion Saga. Oh, yes? I'm going to pronounce the O. Oh? Yeah, so you're the one who had it first? Well, I didn't bring it onto the train if that's what you're asking. I just found it. I'd never seen it before. I only knew the series by reputation. Is it very well known? Not exactly, but I know of some of the others have definitely read it. It's about a jade blood who is thrown out of the caverns for impure dalliances with her fellow jades. And then she becomes a rainbow drinker and has even more impure dalliances. A rainbow drinker? Oh, I guess you trolls who live on the surface have different myths. Legends have it that there are jades who have cheated death by becoming rainbow drinkers. They say that the rainbow drinkers can live forever and that their eternal youth means that they never have to leave Alternia. But they must drink the blood of other trolls to survive, Oh, like a vampire. Sure, if that's what you call it. But it's all just stories, of course. Rainbow drinkers aren't real. So the book is just about vampires? Well, there are rainbow drinkers in it, but I wouldn't say it's about them. It's more centered around the main character doing pretty much all the sacrileges it's possible to do, of which becoming a rainbow drinker is one. Like, there's this one iconic scene where she gets her. Wanchi, that story sounds really exciting, but obviously you don't have the books, so we're gonna go talk to some other people. Gets her what and what? There's also this part where, yeah, that sounds great. Let's go, Joey. Hey, Branya, do you have the key to the lockers? We kind of need to get inside if we're going to do a thorough investigation. If I were a less diplomatic person with anything more than inoffensively neutral opinions, I might say that this is all fucking ridiculous. But here. Thank you, Branya. Can we talk to you about the case? Not if you expect me to betray my wards for the entertainment of a high-blood rapper. No, we want to help. We're going to help you all build up an unimpeachable defense. I really don't understand what you or that teal blood really think any of this is going to accomplish. Because nobody cares about the truth. Everybody knows nobody cares about the truth and will therefore never actually tell the truth. I don't know you. We get that. We really do. I know you have no reason to trust us or Marvis, but we're all in this together now, right? Shouldn't we at least, I don't know, try? Yeah, I guess we should. So we can ask you stuff? Go ahead. You're in charge here, right? Well, I'm certainly not in charge of the Teals or that high blood. But I am the highest ranking jade of my cloister, yes. Even though Lank likes to pretend he doesn't have to listen to me. So, yes. Go ahead and ask anything you like. About Jiraiya. I'm starting to get a light head. Why were you so ready to convict Jiraiya earlier? Everybody seemed really convinced it was her, or at least they seemed like they really didn't care if she got falsely accused. It's political. There really isn't any point in trying to explain it to outsiders, so I'm not going to bother. But if you're asking me if I have any material proof that she did it, then no, I don't. Go ahead and ask anything you like. What are you doing out here? No, what are you doing out here? thought the cloistered jades weren't allowed to leave the caverns. We aren't. The drones would strike us down if we were to abandon our duties to the Mother Grub. Except for one single event per sweep.
Jivik Week?
Yes, obviously.
I'm sorry if this sounds ignorant, but why are you allowed out during Jivik Week? Don't you have like a really important job to do?
We do. And I suppose it's in contravention of hundreds of sweeps of tradition for us to leave behind our ordeals. For us to leave before our ordeals. But it's the heiress's will? I guess? The heiress? Yes. Maybe 3 or 4 sweeps ago, the heiress demanded that even we be allowed to attend. The drones stand down, and we are allowed to emerge from the caverns.
Isn't that, potentially a big problem? Do some of you not run away from your duties? Sorry.
None of my jades are so cowardly. This is merely a field trip. Go ahead and ask anything you like about that book. So what exactly happened with the book Fresh Teeth? It's a whole mess. But the first problem is, the book should not have been on the train in the first place. It is part of a banned series we keep in the cloister library for safety. What you witnessed was only the back half of the drama. This has been going on all evening. The timeline is actually kind of complicated, so bear with me. Once she found the book about 20 minutes after the train left the station. I confiscated it and immediately put it in my locker. About 40 minutes after that, I realized someone had broken the lock and stolen the book. About 20 minutes after that, we found the book again, but it had been defaced. A bunch of pages were ripped out. I have absolutely no idea how whomever did this got the chance. The lockers are right there, and it's not like we've had much to distract us. So, you have the book now? Yes, it's safe. Can we see it? Absolutely not. No one touches a single page of the Rainbow Emotion Saga until we get back to the caverns. Let's check out the lockers. This suitcase belongs to one of the jades. You don't know which one. There's no name on the tag, just a weird pattern. Branya's stuff. Let's not burglar her a second time. Wait, what's that? Oh my goodness, she has the missing pages with all the naughty scenes in them? She must have ripped them out to protect her cloister. Joey, wait, you aren't reading them, are you? Shh! These aren't even that dirty.
This bag looks like something those edgy riot girl bands bring on tour. It's a little intimidating.
This must be Daria's. Is something wrong, Joey? She's just really cool. Oh, there's a bunch of nail files in here. Ouch! They're super sharp.
Yeah, some of them are sharp for extra long claws.
I don't think Daria would mind if I took one. That's not it. You should keep these to yourself. This bag is in impeccable condition with the initials LB stitched in emerald beside an intricate design. It's locked. When you try to pull it open, Zephyros steps on something.
Oh no.
What's wrong? Nothing. Did you step on that thing? Yeah, Joey, what do we do? These kits are really expensive and time-consuming to make. This is a disaster. There's no way we can fix it without the proper tools. It's okay, Zephyros. Accidents happen. And it was pretty irresponsible of the owner to leave something so fragile on the floor like that. I'm sure they'll understand. Understand? Rusties like me have been called for less. Wait. Take another look. Here's the crack from where you stepped on it, but there's another one running in the opposite direction. It was already broken when you stepped on it. That's why it was on the floor. Someone else must have broken it and tried to ditch the evidence. They knew someone else who would accidentally step on it and take the heat for their crime. Wow, Joey, you sound just like a legislacerator already. Do I? Yeah. I think I got a little carried away in the end there, actually. There's no way to prove all that stuff I said in the end. I definitely don't think you're the one who broke it, Zephyros, so don't worry. Oof. Anyway, let's hold on to this. It might turn out to be important. This bag looks expensive, but pretty banged up, like whoever owns it hasn't treated it very well. This bag is filled with participation trophies. Only Lynera would be proud of winning Tidier of the Month and this many times in a row. Wow, she'd make a great low blood. Wait, is this a boy band magazine? Oh yeah, an H2D fan mag. They're huge right now. I can't get into their music, though. And Lynera has a ton of nail polish in here, too. Wow, maybe she's more girly than I thought. Aw, what a cute kitten backpack. This must be Wanshi's. This is just filled with Soldier Purbeast books. Are they any good? It's got a lot of fans, but I could never get into them. Maybe I can read one after we get on the express track. Alright, that's half the room. I'm gonna save. Be right back, just gonna get some more tea.
Are you finally going to be a proper legislacerator and use that thing to slit Linera as oxygen conduit for me? He still has a sword, but after talking to him, you're finding it difficult to actually be too scared of him. I am above the petty drama of hysterical anchorites. I only care about facts and reason.
I can't believe Tysius is making me do this. She's always getting into things with her crazy theories and her political thoughts.
She isn't really making you do this, though, is she? She told you to stay out of it, actually.
Yes, of course she told me to stay out of it. She always tells me to stay out of it, sweetie. But I can't resist organizing the pathetic lives of trolls. Is so gosh darn addicting. The world is filled with inefficient management and regulatory malpractices and useless aesthetic bullet journals with garish color combinations, and someone must do something about it. And who better to whip everyone into efficient machines of bureaucracy than Stelsa Seziet, auditor in training? Here's my card, darling. Ring if you need my services.
Wow, thanks.
I don't think we'll ever need an auditor. Hand that card right back, then. I hate to waste neon pink card stock. It takes me hours to bedazzle them.
Aw.
So you're not even a lawyer? What? I mean, you're not even a legislacerator? How are you going to prosecute efficiently? I may not be interested in judicial law, but I'm certainly more equipped than the so-called defense to handle this case. Besides, I can't resist the large clown man with the expensive blowout. He might decide to redecorate if I decline this opportunity. By redecorate, I mean he will repaint the car with a fresh coat of teal.
Okay, well, I don't know. I still don't think anyone's forcing you to do this.
Pish posh, it's too late now. I'm in it to win it, and I will crush the opposition under my impeccable Louis Vuitton patent stiletto heels fall season. I just wish I didn't have to play along with my dear Zizi's silly political fantasies.
Tysius's political fantasies?
What did you mean by silly political fantasies? Oh, you know, same old, same old. My Zizi is a results-driven go-getter who thinks outside the box. It's an enviable skill set in certain legislators' resource pools. She may give leadership a shake-up, but it's always for the betterment of the Empire, of course. Haha, why wouldn't it be? I mean, her hard work is all for the sake of streamlining the process, but the way she tries to eliminate the pain points tends to push the envelope. Hop to it, miss. We don't have it whole night. About you and Tysius. Hey, so what's the deal with, you and Tysius? You gay? Sweetheart, you need to treat me to a luncheon involving a glass of fermented purple sphere liquid and a nice grub cheese plate before tossing these implications around willy-nilly. I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. I guess it was a stupid question anyway. Despite any hot goss you may have heard on the down low, I assure you that Tysius and I have nothing but the reddest of feelings for one another, and in fact there isn't a hint of gray or black in the mix whatsoever.
Yeah, methinks the lady doth protest a bit too much. Uh-huh.
I admit we certainly have our professional differences. She just drives me up the wall sometimes. She never schedules anything. She won't let me give her a makeover, and she definitely doesn't appreciate the benefits of a good networking event. But trust me, dear, I deeply enjoy her company. She really keeps me sane. I'm amazed by all the knowledge she's got locked away in her think pan and how she efficiently and pseudo-metaphorically slaughters her opponents at practice trials. And ooh, she's so gorgeous, and those deep-set eye bags are like a natural eyeliner-highlighter combo. And in the end, that's why I love her. Wow. You two sure seem like great gal pals. Bye.
Yeah, Joey's very gay. Very, very gay.
Hey, I know what it looks like, but I had nothing to do with this. If I had been the one to steal the part of the infamous Rainbow Hemotion saga, I promise I never would have returned it. Actually, could we strike that from the record? How do you know so much about the book? I have an interest in salacious historical artifacts. I never thought I'd run into one here of all places. Usually, even professional perspective editors could only hope to touch a book like that one on the ugly end of a low-blood rebellion. Perspective editor? Yes! It's a branch of abhistorical methodology where you help the government decide which historical documents are advantageous to the Empress and which should be locked up or purged. Most people think it's boring work because you spend a lot of time reading old ledgers and requisition records, but you wouldn't believe the things you learn about the past from that stuff. Of course, there's the added benefit of being the only one who gets to see them at all the... Wait. Are you saying that you study these historical documents and then you just lie about what's in them? Yes? Why else study history if not to control it? If you put history into the hands of the people, you'd end up with total anarchy. Just look at what's happened here. Ugh.
Yeah, ugh is right.
What's with the judgy look?
He looks kind of intimidating, but his hair is very shiny. When you were Tirona's age, you could barely tie your shoes, let alone hold complex conversations. You wore jellies because they were easy to slip on and off. Also, they're cute as heck.
Hello again. Nice evening, isn't it? Why are you in such a good mood when everyone else is freaking out? An innocent troll with nothing to hide sleeps in the sleep of the just. I've got a cup of tea, an absolutely devastating haircut, and a front row seat for what promises to be some especially juicy justice. Free of charge. The only thing missing is snap kernels. You wouldn't happen to have any snap kernels, would you? No. Pity. Anyway, the name's Tagora Gorjak, but you can call me Gorgor. So, can you prove you weren't involved with this crime? Cynicism and distrust, both of which I can respect. Of course I can prove it. I can prove anything, however far-fetched. But you'll need to pay my hourly billing rate, of course. Just sign here. You want to charge me to prove you're innocent? It's hard work being innocent. You want me to do it for free? How do you expect me to make any money? Well, okay. But if you can't prove you're innocent, your name may come up at trial. And you know, people get convicted for stuff they didn't do all the time. Don't you watch crime shows and stuff? Do you guys have those? We have public callings every so often, if that's what you mean. Maybe you're right. Okay, I'll prove my innocence for you free of charge. I hope you're aware that I wouldn't extend this special offer to just anyone. I couldn't have done it. I was in the load gaper. Oh, but wait, the book was found in the load gaper. Indeed, but I promise you that the full hour I spent in there was devoted to nothing but the diligent evacuation of my internals. Ew. But how do we know you're telling the truth? That's an awfully long time to be using the bathroom, isn't it? What's it any business of yours how long I take in the gaper? To be honest, we members of the legislacerator profession are prone to load blockages and slow disgorgements. Ah, too much information. The load gaper security video will show beyond a reasonable doubt that I was closeted with my bowels, so nowhere near the scene of the outrage that at the time it took place. Aha! I don't see a tape in here.
What's a tape?
Oh, right, your planet probably hasn't used tapes for hundreds of years. It's how we record videos. They're like a little black box with two spools of magnetic tape in them. And as it turns, it plays the video.
Whoa, that's amazing. We just use grubs. Grubs?
Like insect grubs?
Yeah, they're linked psychically to a CPU or something like that.
And this is just like a naturally occurring thing on your planet?
Well, in the old days, we used to farm them, but natural-born memory grubs can only store a terabyte of information maximum. Now they're cloned and grown in giant vats in some Imperial ship out on the galactic border.
So they're just slave bugs?
When you put it that way, it sounds really sad.
Your planet has a lot of sad things, Zephyros.
You know,
but that's why the Tetrarch is going to change everything.
If you say so. It looks like we're gonna need something sharp and thin to pry the grub out.
Right. Let's go see what we can find. Wait. Is this just footage of using the bathroom? People using the bathroom? Creepy.
Yeah, but nobody looks at grubs like this, usually except for a security drone.
Like the same robot things that blew up your hive?
Yeah, there's lots of different kinds.
I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to this place.
That's not it. Okay.
Aha. Hand that oozy, sticky information repository walla over.
Stop wriggling, you. Alright, plugging it in.
Let's go straight to the time period during which the outrage was committed. Otherwise, we'll have to watch a succession of unpalatable episodes with maybe some unpalatable sounds as well. If you'll just sign here to waive your rights. Ah, here we are. While I admittedly was in the load gaper around the time your culprit must have stashed this dastardly book, my preoccupations were of a purely fecal matter. I hate that pun so much. So much. It is hard to overstate how much I hate that pun. Whoever wrote this, fuck you. Fuck you. Alright, we begin with timestamp 1449. Voila, 48 minutes of what you might call Lotus Putridis Eruptus Immensis. Enjoy. Oh. Okay, I think that's enough. I believe you.
Me too.
No. You both get failing grades in evidence class with those attitudes. Don't you need to be thorough and verify I'm innocent of crime? Thanks, but...
Yeah, you seem like a pretty honest guy.
Welcome back. Have you returned to see more of my Eruptus Immensis episode? No, thanks. I'm satisfied. Then perhaps you'd be interested in some other information at reasonable rates. Just sign here. Not unless you can tell us who stole the book. Well, of course I can.
What? How? Why didn't you tell us you knew that all along? 1, you didn't ask me, and more importantly, 2, you didn't pay me. Well, tell us, please. That's number 1. Congratulations, you're 50% of the way to learning this important information. Oh, well, how much are you asking for? Since we're basically best friends by now, I'll offer you this low price. 1 billion credits. Oh my god, that's so much money. Wait, Zephyros, is that a lot of money? Yeah. Actually, Alternia is an automated planet and the Empire's economy is centrally planned. So money's mostly just for fun and doesn't matter. Unless you're an adult and want to buy yourself out of a job on one of the bad colonies. But I'll never see that much money even if I live to be 30 sweeps old. If you had to take a moment to access your untaxed off-planet accounts, that's fine. I understand that the lag in interstellar communications can be a real pain. I'm sorry, Gorgor, but we can't pay your fee. How unfortunate. Can we convince you to help us out of a respect for justice and the knowledge that you'd be doing a good deed for an innocent person? Absolutely not. However, if you have something other than money, that might make it worth my while. Like what? Have you perhaps anything that might draw eyes on the black market? Wait, what's that? What's this? My magic spice mix? Its scent is positively alluring. What exotic bounty lay inside, I wonder? Give me a magical little tube of spice, and I give you a magical little tube of info. Give him the spice. Okay, deal. I'm not sure what weird alien food I would have put on it anyway. Put it on anyway. Yeah, that one. I'm not sure what weird alien food I would have put it on anyway. Wonderful. A pleasure doing business with you. Now, what about that info? Ah, right. Here you are. What is this? Tagiri's internet history. Wait, you just had a printout of that ready to go? How? When? That's not important. What is important is Tagiri has spent a not insubstantial amount of time on websites of questionable moral character. And far be it from me to criticize anyone's taste, but several of these websites pertain to the precise contents of the Forbidden Jade Book, causing us all so much stress. Wait, you know what Fresh Teeth is about? Of course I do. It's only against Jade Law to read it, but I'm not the teal on trial here. Tagiri frequents rainbow drinker sites on the regular. Is that a website? I can't even read it, it's got so many X's in it. Thanks for this, Gorgor. Yeah, thanks, Gorgor. Anytime you want to trade culinary oddities for compelling evidence, do keep me in mind. On that note, any other oddities you'd care to part with? Any other oddities you'd care to part with? What do you think of these? Wait, what are these discs you're handling so carelessly? These? They're just pogs. The creatures portrayed hereon are called pogs? No, they're people, human beings. This one is particularly comely. If their horns had only grown out normally and their skin had been a healthier color, they would have given me a bona fide animus prosidenti. Okay, that's Gillian Anderson. Well, I think I might be willing to part with some information to obtain this portrayal of this poor, crippled, but admittedly attractive entity. You'll tell us the name of the thief? Alas, not even an image of the peerless Gillian Anderson can command such a price. However, I am in possession of a hot tip I can pass on. Give him the pogs. So what's the hot tip? Okay, come close, I'm gonna whisper this. One of the Jades on this very train car is planning on leaving the cloister, and said scheme involves this outing. Oh. So what? If a Jade is abandoning the cloister, that's abandoning the natural and mandated role attending the mother grub in the sacred dark, isolated subterranean brooding caverns. Is that like a big deal? Yeah, kind of. If a Jade gets chosen for the cloister, they're supposed to stay there until they go off planet to Space Church. Take me to Space Church!
But what if they get tired of it or want to do something else? You mean, why can't lower castes throw off the tyrannical yoke of unjust servitude and follow the innocent dictates of their hearts? Why must they stay enthralled to a venomous, anachronistic serfdom as murderous as it is futile? That's how the Tetrarch would say it. And those are all good points, but I don't think it would be a good idea to be heard talking about them here. Do you think this actually has anything to do with who stole the book? I doubt it. Darn. It does. Oh, what are those? Batteries. They look delicious. They're not. You've tried them? No, but then how do you know? Do trolls eat batteries? Not really, but I don't know if it would really do them any harm. Teals and up have pretty strong gastric sacs. Are you willing to trade something for them? I suppose. So, what will you give me for these, totally delicious and not at all toxic little balls of nutrients? Something of inestimable value. My advice. About how to find out who really stole the book? No, but something of the highest importance nonetheless. Yeah, it is of the highest importance. It's the purpose of this run. Now just hand them over. Okay. Here you are. What's your advice? Buy low, sell high. That was a joke. Anyway, confidentially, your adversary there, Tysius. Note the overtaxed air of languid failure she projects, the overimpression of being a particularly narcoleptic sleepwalker. You might even call her a walkie-talkie. She looks so inert and enervated, like she can't or won't do anything. Don't be fooled. Check this out. What is this, a binder of notes? It looks like a doctor wrote these. It's completely unreadable. Indecipherable though her unorthodox thought processes may be, Tysius isn't nearly as droopy as she seems. The moment the court comes into session, she'll leap to the attack like a lightning bolt with an irreconcilable grudge. Like a fireball after a good night's sleep, like a particularly truculent volcano or an earthquake that's been suppressing its feelings for years. These are her notes? About the case? The only thing in here I can read is this sparkly green ink page of something. Nothing on it makes any sense. What does this have to do with the case? You expect me to do all the work for you? I will have to demand an upfront payment of 10 trillion credits, as well as a legally binding commitment to a lifelong retainer. Sign here. Maybe we ought to just hold on to these for now. He knows what he did. Nobody needs to see this. Sup, Joe? Are you hyped for this or what? Lol. Actually, I'm pretty nervous. I'm totally new to all this Legislacerator stuff. Don't freak out, buddy. I don't care if you do something wrong, because everyone participating in the trial will be encouraged to commit less naughty acts just by witnessing the utilitarianism of the means of punishment. No matter the outcome, it's a moral victory, buddy. Holla, skirt, brap. Kill me. Kill me. Wow, haha, no wonder they picked you to be the judge. Hope I'll be able to convince you of whatever my case ends up being. I'm sure you'll put on a hell of a show. Overwrite. I'm ready to start the trial. What's up? Oh god. We talked to Stelsa. Bet she's having a meltdown. And you're laughing about it? Don't
worry about her. Stills has got her top buttons done up so tight she's gonna choke. She needs to have her feathers mussed once in a while. Keeps our relationship, interesting.
Defensive legislation? I don't know much about it.
Seriously? You've never watched, like, Law and Order, Subject Later, Slop Ejaculatory Unit?
Well, maybe not from that particular spin-off.
Yikes. Alright. Well, first off, I think you're under the impression that a legislator only manages the court block. But that isn't the case. They also have to find evidence, sniff out clues, and seek out the guilty party.
Like a detective?
Sure, I don't know. It is only then that the legislator drags the suspect before his honorable tyranny and engages in a veritable battle of ancient law that can last for days, until his honorable tyranny gets bored and vores the loser.
That sounds awful. No offense to your vocation or anything.
None taken. Unlike the defensive legislation process I'm proposing, where the trial is all about having a dialectic and finding the truth, a traditional legislator determines guilt right off the bat and commits to their initial impressions from the get-go, no matter what truths emerge in court. Guilt might as well be judged by the flip of a coin, if luck even mattered at all in these things. You don't sound too happy about that for a teal. Well, let's just say I've got a lot of qualms with the process. What's up? Despite the hip new defensive process, you'll basically be following in the steps of the leagues of legislator legends that came before you. First, you must take statements from all involved parties. Second, you must gather evidence and determine your timeline. Third, you must decide your plan of attack so you can defend Daria and crush your opponent with no hesitation.
Isn't our opponent your mate, Sprit?
Yup, that's what makes it all the more invigorating. Anyway, after you've scuttled around and interviewed everyone and dug up all the evidence you can find, come back to me and I'll get his tyranny to start up the trial. Yeah, it's time. Excuse me, what the fuck? No, we are not starting the goddamn trial. You haven't done shit. Go gather more statements. More evidence. Anything, please, I'm begging you.
Jeez, okay.
Really?
You keep saying that you don't have any opinions on this, but it kind of really seems like you do. Okay, truth be told, something like this has happened before in my cloister. Really? When I was much younger, there was another Jade I knew. She was a lot like Daria. Even the best of us waver in our faith at times, but she truly hated her calling. She wanted nothing to do with tending to the mother grub, and it was all because of that stupid book. She was obsessed with the Rainbow Emotion saga. It put a seed of blasphemous thoughts into her mind and consumed her. She would have done anything to change her life. She was even convinced she would become a rainbow drinker herself. But the drones took notice of her agitations eventually, and when they finally came for her, she threw herself violently against them, confident in her belief that nothing would stop her. But of course, it's just fiction. It's nonsense. She didn't rise again to walk the sparkling sun-drenched fields. She simply died. Wow. I've never seen anyone die before, not up close. Branya, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fine. As you can see, I've gotten over it. But that's why I'm so hard on Doraya. If I can scare the rebellion out of her now, maybe she'll survive to her ordeals. Branya, that's really all I have to say. I am so glad that Doraya will finally face justice and stop interfering in Branya's life.
Okay, I think this is everyone, right?
So we were looking through the lockers and found this.
What is this? Oh, another wretched hatch-to-dance rag. Good grief. How many of these conversations do I have to have? Yes, yes. I'm the first male Jade you've ever met. Just like Actius from the Dancing Boys band. Let's just get the interrogation fucking over with.
Oh, I wondered if you were a myth. Are you special? Are there more of you in the cloister? How many of you are there? Do you all know each other? Can boys really take care of grubs? Can you get me Actius's autograph?
Or should I just cut to the chase and give you my detailed paling fantasy for your sick fantasies?
What? What are you talking about? I wanted to know if you had any idea if this magazine was relevant to the case. Whew. This is awkward.
If you're answering questions about it, I am curious.
Zephyros?
Oh, fuck off. Not that it matters to me, but I would take another look around if I were you. The two plebeian ignoramuses have finally come to interrogate my vast intellect. Who are you again?
Me?
My blade has slain countless enemies. My name is whispered in fear amongst those who live in the shadows.
That's great. Wow, look at the time. We've really got to go. Bye-bye.
Wait. Aren't you investigating that mysteriously stolen body light novel? I know all about all sorts of illicit works. From banned texts to cartoons censored by the East Alternian Black Bar Society, my dark knowledge knows no limits.
Oh, geez.
In fact, a virile alpha male who fears no authority such as myself might even take an interest in collecting banned texts. Don't you want to ask me about banned texts? Please ask me about banned texts. I don't think I want to. At least ask me about the daring theft. The break-in, the excitement, the bold hiding place. I know all sorts of forbidden secrets.
Ugh, I don't want to talk to him anymore, but that was so suspicious.
I'm behind you 100%.
Can we ask you some questions?
Of course you may, milady.
What was that about banned texts? What exactly do you know about banned texts?
Just, stuff.
But what kind of stuff?
A low blood could never understand.
Why didn't you say anything before?
It was a danger to my extremely important person. A high blood such as myself must behave as a hunter in all arenas of life. For me to revel in such an intimate secret before it was advantageous to do so, 'tis a folly only a prey animal would make.
If you say so. If it's all the same to you, I would rather go on the stand. Not go on the stand. It's the job of a perspective editor to work behind the scenes to create the truth. Saying the truth, that's not really my thing. But you've been honest with us so far. Wait, you have been honest, right? As the famous abhor story engineer Geist once said, truth is written by the last high blood standing on the battlefield. From that perspective, No one here is qualified to tell the truth in the first place, since we're all still alive. Okay. I must warn you, I will not go easy on you just because you're acting on my on behalf of my mates, but nothing personal, but I'm a professional. That's gotta be everything, right? Thank you for your thorough dedication to finding the truth, and also to lining my pockets. That's everyone.
Looks like you two have been busy. Color me impressed.
Really? I was worried we weren't thorough enough.
Nope, you've done a great job. You found all the pieces to the puzzle, and the puzzle has finally come together to make a coherent picture.
Wait, really?
What's the finished puzzle look like? That's for me to know and for you to find out. But I'm sure you'll figure it out for yourselves during the trial.
Let's start.
Hell yeah. Let's get 'em. Hey yo, welcome to the trial of Lil Daria. What's her fuck it?
The prosecution is prepped and ready, Your Honorable Tyranny. The prosecution will now show the court that Daria John Jett stole filthy rainbow drinker contraband from the Jade Lockers, defiled it, and acted like a degenerate criminal just in general. The prosecution will now call to the stand their first witness.
Whoa. Slow the F down, Speedy McGee. You haven't given these little itty bitty low bloods opportunity to get a word in.
Oh, of course, Your Honor. How rude of me.
Hey, Joe, who you calling up as your first witness?
Me? Yes, are you deaf? Quick, you're holding up the court. This will set the whole tone of the trial. It's a big decision. Tysius, what do you think?
This is your show. My role is merely, advisory.
Okay, how about... Torona.
Nice choice.
But you promised I wouldn't have to testify. I never actually said that. Don't worry. I won't ask you anything incriminating. Empress, give me strength.
Time's a ticking, bitches.
I'll talk. Look, I'm not really comfortable doing this.
God, can I not save? There's the save.
I prefer to work behind the scenes, if you know what I mean. Naturally. Like the great tarologician of the, tarologian of the dire empiricist troll Thomas Hobbes once said, teal bloods are better never seen nor heard. That is how you know the empire is thriving. Efficiently, decisively, lethally, on the back of our invisible labor. But we are not here to talk about you. We are here to talk about the unfortunate melodramatic afflictions typical of our cloistered sisters, so stay on topic. Look, I don't know what you think I saw. If you saw nothing, then you have nothing to lose by telling us the truth. Are you kidding? This is a courtroom. I have everything to lose by telling the truth. Like my life.
In normal circumstances, that's true, but we're running a little experiment here.
An experiment?
Yeah, a kindler, gentler make of trial. We're practicing a policy of innocent until proven guilty.
That sounds almost blasphemous.
We know how to have fun, don't we, Your Honorable Tyranny? Yeah, no need to be afraid, buddy. Come and prove your innocence.
Oh. Well, you see, it was a total accident that I found the missing pages. Not that I knew the pages were missing, that is. I mean, at the time, I didn't even know that the Jades were carrying around a forbidden book. I thought they were arguing about some silly romance novel. Not that I overheard their argument. Not explicitly. I'm not the type of creep that would just listen in on a private conversation on purpose or anything. I've just never seen one in real life before, but I'm not a stalker.
God, reading her is gonna make me dizzy.
She seems so nervous. I bet she knows something important.
There's a couple tools in the legislator's docket you can use for an effective trial. If the witness says something suspicious, confusing, or just plain weird, you can press them for more info. Or if the witness makes a statement you can dispute with concrete evidence, you can present that evidence to the court. But you've got to put some thought into the evidence you're presenting. If you present something that has nothing to do with the case, you'll just piss off the court, and it won't work if you present your evidence in the wrong statement either. Mess it up too much and you'll bore His Honorable Tyranny and the trial gets thrown out. So if you ever get stuck, just press the hint button and I'll help you out.
Wow, that sounds pretty exciting. I'll give it a shot. Okay, Torona, take it from the top.
Let's press that.
So you're saying that the book is forbidden? Objection! What now? His Honorable Tyranny, the court would like to submit that the defense is stalling for time. This is a tactic subject to immediate mistrial and potential culling under Article, Jesus Christ. XVX? VI? Which one is that?
Too many. That's too many articles.
Of the Intergalactic Imperial Doctrine on Internal Protocol.
Only if you get caught.
I'm not stalling, I'm just not clear on why the book is banned. I read the ripped up pages and they're not any racier than the stuff my babysitter leaves lying around the house sometimes. Oh no, dear, don't tell me you actually read excerpts of these nasty rainbow drinker fantasies. Your Honorable Tyranny, this is outright heresy. This outright heresy cannot be allowed to stand.
Actually, according to article... Oh, God, is that 6.2027? Subject 4 of the Troll Magna Carta. It's absolutely permitted for anyone involved in a trial of this nature to view subversive content for purposes of legal clarification.
Are you absolutely sure of that, darling?
Yeah, of course I am. But also, I could just be making up numbers off the top of my head and you'd never know. Like I said, it's only against the law if you get caught. That's what makes it so fun.
You will be the end of me, I swear.
We never called you a stalker.
Of course not. I just meant that a stalker is what you would call me. If it turned out that I'd been doing something creepy like following a bunch of strangers I'd just met on a train. Zephyros, does she sound more nervous than usual to you?
Maybe we should try presenting some evidence?
Good idea. Let's think carefully about this. What's something that only the Jades had on them that someone would find embarrassing to be caught with? Was it an accident? What kind of accident was it exactly? Oh my. Is this a subject we should be broaching in front of everyone? Objection! Your Honorable Tyranny, the court must dispute this line of questioning on the grounds that it is both baseless and lurid. Huh? Wait.
A legislator must always ask questions with the precision of a scalpel making an excision between the occipital and temporal lobes. I taught you better than this. You didn't teach me at all. I don't know. Why don't you try pressing on something? It's free real estate.
Take that.
You know what this is.
What? I have never seen anything like that before in my life.
You've never seen a magazine?
That's right! And there's nothing you can do to prove that I have. It's not like you can mind control me.
She's obviously lying. What do I do? She just told you. Use mind control.
The thing we don't have?
Most legislators lack psychic powers, and we still get the job done. That's the thing. Mind control isn't magic. It's simply the art of using TK to trigger chemical responses in the victim's brain. The same chemicals can be easily hijacked with words instead. You figured out the motive. Now bring home the intent.
I have never seen a magazine before in my life, and there's nothing you can do to prove that I have. You can't even mind control me into saying otherwise. Face it, Lowblood, you've got nothing on me.
She's kind of right. Unless she tells the truth, we don't have anything. We have more than you think. You talked to all these assholes before the trap, too. Use your memory. I'll bet that all of them told you something they shouldn't have.
Wait, Zephyros, didn't she say something before about having never seen one in real life either? I think it's safe to say she didn't actually mean in a magazine. Is it really that unusual for jades to leave their caves?
I mean, for the cloistered ones, yeah, but there are non-cloistered jades too.
So she was talking about something else. I wonder what she meant.
How is it even possible you've never seen a magazine?
Yes, now that the subject has been so disruptively slapped on the table like this, I must concur. Magazines are very common objects. I find it especially strange that a hopeful recruit to the terrible order of prospective editors is so ignorant about the history of regurgitated tree pulp media, which, as we all know, was once the cornerstone of our cast power base. What? Yes, I know all about the grand old days when Teal Bloods had to pulp the paper to create the historical record with our own mouths. Why are you being so perceptivist and literal? Prescriptivist. I was obviously being facetious.
Why would you ever try to be facetious in a room full of teals? On the stand, a flippant exaggeration can be the deciding factor in a guilty verdict. Maybe you want to rephrase your statement.
Oh. Okay, fine, I do have some knowledge regarding the existence of magazines, but I have never seen that one.
I think that what's going on here is extremely obvious.
Of course you do. I've never even had to be a legislator before.
Look, think about it logically. There's only a limited number of reasons Tirona would want the magazine. Should be easy to narrow them down. Who is she reminded of?
I get it.
I told you it was obvious.
You know, don't you think Lank looks like one of the boys on this cover?
Huh.
You mean Actius? Aha! So you do know what the magazine is about. You were lying. Of course I was lying. Who doesn't know who Hatched to Dance are? Yes, have you not heard? They were hatched only to dance and are very good at it. H2D is the hottest group on the planet. In fact, they're so popular that they've already been pre-approved for cushy military positions when they hit 9 sweeps so that they can continue their music careers while serving the Empire. Well, except for... Oops. I've said too much.
No, you haven't. Keep going.
I didn't want to believe it was true, but there's a rumor that Actius is going to get culled soon. He's been dissing Triz's selfies and chitter, so she's going to send bots after him their next gig. It's not fair. Is this going somewhere? It's just that... You see, Actius is my bias.
Your what?
He's my bias.
Everything is clear now. Actius is her waifu.
That means that he's her favorite.
Yes, I see now. Just as a warrior cannot reveal his waifu except to true comrades or true rivals, a member of the H2D battalion cannot let their bias slip accidentally. To do so would be as foolish as baring your neck to an enemy. A male J-blood. You don't see one of those every day.
So you were following Branya and her friends around because Link looks like your favorite singer? I mean, well, only a little bit. And hoping to get my hands on that magazine article for my self-torture scrapbook. But I saw Lynera confiscated shortly after we boarded, and I didn't want to get caught breaking into her locker. So when I saw someone smuggling paper into the load gaper, I thought, hold up. You saw who stashed the pages in the bathroom? I didn't exactly see it per se. The train was under the mountain at the time. Wait, did we go through a tunnel? If we did, it must have been when we were in the first car. There were so many people I couldn't see out to the windows. If that's true, then we have an exact timeline for the crime, don't we? You're right. Thank you, Tarana. Your testimony really helped us out. In that case, can I go now? Yeah, buddy, scuttle along. Interesting. She was talking about your friend's party, right, Zephyros? It sounds like Crydia's party is going to be a mess. But from what I know Damek and Crydia have been up to, Hatch to Dance drama is the last reason Triza would have her place raided. Well, we have to focus on the trial right now or we're going to be stuck in this car forever. I think it's time to talk to Little Miss Camp Counselor. Well chosen. Branya, you're up next. If that's what you want. I already told you that I won't speak up against my girls. And Lank. And Lank. And Lank. Yes, caste loyalty is a laudable attribute in any loyal subject of the Empire. However, in this case, silence may be more damning than any testimony you could give. What do you mean? I have in my hands a personal note scrub, which happened to be running at the precise moment that your group's adorable little schism kicked up. Wow. Based. Your Honorable Tyranny, the prosecution would like to submit in lieu of testimony the defendant's own words. Is that allowed? In court, my dude, anything goes if it pleases the judge. Yeah, just tickle me, Entertainment Globes. What? Okay. Me Entertainment Globes? Is he gonna sell me Lucky Charms or something? It's your choice, Miss Branya. Test your wits against two completely untrained legislators participating in a farce trial or put faith in the truth, but I warn you the truth is a cleansing light far more powerful than the sun, and I don't think you're a rainbow drinker. Nice one, Stells. I'm all Twitter-pated. Thanks, I stole that one from you, darling. Yeah, I know. That's why it's so good. So what's it gonna be, Chan? Very well, we will play the recording. Oh no, this is bad. Or is it bad? I can't tell. Hard to tell either way. Sorry, one moment. I'm a little bit dizzy. Unlike the last witness, you won't be able to fluster them with incriminating evidence. Anything you present must be absolutely and without a doubt irrefutable. Would everyone just calm down? Okay. So this is... yeah. I need a moment. My head is spinning. Sorry. Uh... Alright, I think I need to call it a day. Thank you for coming to the stream. I'll download this recording and edit it into the start of the trial, I guess. Everyone just calm down. We are calm. The only one pitching a fit here is Lynera, as usual. I am not pitching a fit! I'm trying to help Bronya keep everyone in order. Lynera, stop. Really? Because what it sounds like is you're kicking up a mob to get me culled. I should have known the second we were out of the cave you'd try to get me thrown off the train, you backstabbing little bitch. No one will have to throw anyone off any train. No one will have to throw anyone off any trains if you just... tell us where the book is! I don't have to say shit about shit. Daria, please, just tell us what happened to the book. If you say that you're innocent, I promise to believe you. But you have to say something. I'm not dignifying anything that comes out of that brown-noser's pathetic ignorance, Gash. Lynera's ignorance of Gash's is, as always, what's caused this entire mess. What is that supposed to mean? Lank, Daria, don't gang up on her. Why the fuck not? She's trying to get you to gang up on me. I didn't even want to come out on this stupid field trip. Can't you see this is a set? There, now we've all heard it. Bronya herself, in her own words, suspected that Daria was the one who defiled the book. I think that's an oversimplification of a very complicated situation. What does Bronya think? Well, that says it all. It does sound pretty clear-cut. But it's obvious that Bronya was just trying to stop the argument at any cost. Totally, but that sort of free-form psychological analysis doesn't fly in court. Listen again. There will be a detail that stands out, I promise. Why'd you tell her to stop?
It's 'cause she got her nose permanently stuck up Bronya's nook.
I do not!
And she's a dreadful liar.
That's not gonna serve you well off planet.
Kid. That's not gonna serve you well off planet, kid.
That's fine. I'm never going off planet. I plan to serve as a midwife to the mother grub as is befitting a proper member of our cast.
You know being a midwife isn't even fucking real.
Yes, it is!
Yeah, when's the last time you saw one then?
They're cloistered! We're not supposed to see them!
Drown me.
Is the defense going somewhere with this? Upon reflection, I guess not. Oh, you're all awful to each other. It's because we're ever such close friends. Are you sure about that?
That's just how friendship is sometimes.
Is that how your best friend talks to you?
Oh, well, this isn't about me.
But you know, I even saw Lynera and Lank holding hands a little while ago. I think there's something else here we're missing. Wait, stop the tape. Yes? Bronya, you actually think Daria did it, don't you? Congratulations, you have accurately gleaned from context where I was going with this. However, I fail to see how this observation serves your case if we are all in agreement that Daria did it. Why are we wasting time on this ridiculous charade?
Oh, is the trial is the trial all over already? Damn, it was just getting interesting.
No.
Might wanna think a bit harder before pressing a statement. Next time, kiddo.
Yeah, thanks for that well-timed advice.
No problem.
Let's see. I'm sorry, I have no idea what this is supposed to mean.
Stop embarrassing yourself.
Right. Wait! Before continuing, I would like the court to examine Bronya's itinerary for the ship.
Oh, let's see it done.
Objection! Your honorable tyranny, I don't see what relevance this line of inquiry has to the case. This feels suspiciously like stalling for time.
What's wrong, Styles? I thought you liked a tight itinerary.
Zizi, no, don't air out our laundry like that in a public court.
Keep your shirt on, babe. I meant it literally. Branya here was the one who established the initial timeline for the case. Don't you want to make sure she's dotted all the proverbial I's and slashed all the metaphorical T's?
You know that I have a weakness for grammatical punctiliousness, as well as fastidiousness in general.
Okay, so I'm not the only one who got that one wrong. The people who wrote that sentence didn't write that one properly either. That's fine. We'll just quietly move on. Yeah, that's why I've carefully pressed hidden coffee rings into every notebook you own.
Oh, you really know how to wrinkle my pressed collars.
I love to see this kind of stuff.
Please, you didn't even let me explain. If you look at the first item of the itinerary, you'll find reference to the term accountability.
What's an accountability buddy?
Well, that's when friends learn about being responsible together. Responsibility is a very.
She makes us hold hands every time we go anywhere together.
Oh, that's.
Humiliating? Yes, and if I never have to feel Lynera's clammy, sweaty palm in mine again, it would be too soon.
Hey!
So you're saying that Lynera was your accountability buddy?
Unfortunately.
Which would make Wanshi Darius?
Oh, yes, we have ever so much fun together.
No, we don't.
Branya, I want to be absolutely clear on where everyone was and when. Can you tell us about your accountability system in a little more detail? Well, I don't see how it could hurt. I assure you, assignment of accountability buddies is standard practice. Our cloister does not currently experience the kind of problems that would cause me to be suspicious of my friends. There is no special reason behind it, besides as a way to keep track of special duties. And since you asked, I can confirm that the accountability pair-ups on this trip were Lynera, Wanshi, and Daraya. These were decided by Lynera and I ahead of time. Have I answered all your questions? To be honest, not really. Would you mind going over all that again? Oh, of course. It would be my pleasure to waste as much of your time as possible. Wait, didn't you tell me earlier that you had a friend who was,
Culled?
Well, yes. I suppose I did tell you that. You said it was because of this series, too. I told you that as well. Yes. That was several sweeps ago, however. But in my testimony, I said that we do not currently experience any problems that would give me cause to be suspicious of my friends. Okay, but don't you think that's kind of an important detail? If you insist. Assignment of accountability buddies is standard practice. I sometimes wonder if she could have been saved if she had an accountability buddy. But that did not factor into my decision to implement the practice when I became the eldest in the cavern, so you see, there is no special reason behind it, besides as a way to keep track of special duties.
You sure?
What kind of special duties? By special duties, I mean completely normal responsibilities, like handing out the snacks, taking care of the locker key, doing bed checks, keeping track of the luggage, leading the travel games and group sing-alongs, etc. You don't trust your friends to keep track of those things on their own? Of course I do. It's just that everything is more fun if you're doing it with a buddy, even the morning chores.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm. Since they're completely normal responsibilities, could you add them to your testimony? Certainly. There's no special reason behind it, besides as a way to keep track of special duties. These responsibilities include handing out the snacks, taking care of the locker key, doing bed checks, keeping track of the luggage, and leading the travel games and group sing-alongs. Wait, did you say that the accountability pair-ups were responsible for taking care of the locker keys? Yes. Aha! What now? Tarona said that she saw the thief stealing into the bathroom. It says here in your itinerary that the key was with Lynera and Lank from 1515 to 1545. But Tyrona saw the thief make off with the book while the train was going under a tunnel at 1540. So? So, it means that Daria had no way to get into the locker during the time frame that the book was stolen. Meaning that she must be innocent. Right? That's right, isn't it? Why isn't anyone saying anything? And I must vigorously reiterate, Is that really the conclusion you've drawn from the evidence presented, with this rich tapestry of potential indiscretion laid bare before you? Yes? Incredible. Oh, Tysius, this is exhilarating. Why didn't you tell me? The pure jolt of adrenaline that one feels when seeing a wrinkle in someone's argument and preparing to decisively, irrecoverably, methodically iron it out.
Stop drawing it out, Stells. You're making a mockery of this court.
I'm not the one making a mockery of this sacred institution. Your so-called defense can't possibly be taking this seriously. Observe the condition in which the locker was discovered.
Hmm.
The thief used force to obtain their quarry. All you've done is prove your client's guilt. What clever rhetorical feint will you whisper in your protege's ear this time, Tysius?
Wonderful question. What do you have to say for yourself, my trusty protege?
Well, we don't know how the locker was broken into, so we can't prove anything definitively yet. Right? Wrong. We do in fact possess the means of burglary. What do you have to say for your client now?
Oh, no, Joey. Maybe Daria did do it after all.
No! We can't give up just like that.
You know we just met like half an hour ago. No offense, but it's weird how invested you are in this.
It's not right!
Tough shit.
Excuse me, everyone. Why are you fighting me when I'm trying to help you?
But I'm just saying this seems more like a personal problem than anything to do with me.
So what if it is? I don't like this kangaroo court. I don't like seeing people getting taken advantage of for the amusement of others. I'm going to blow this case wide open and prove the truth, no matter what. An admirable goal, but how do you intend to do that when the issue is so cut and dry? Surely you don't happen to miraculously have an item in your possession that suggests another culprit? I might. What about this? Stop embarrassing yourself. How about this?
What are you doing?
Maybe this will change your mind.
Yawn.
Okay, this time I have it for sure. Please, can I? Your Honorable Tyranny, I think we're finished here.
Think you might be right, buddy.
Well, wait.
Little disappointed, to be honest. Thought it'd be a better show than this.
Don't.
Daria, let's go.
Wait! Attention, everyone! Before we do anything hasty that we might regret later, I have a few facts to point out. The lock was vandalized using a sharp cutting implement. Although this could have been accomplished using the nail file found in Daria's locker, there are other items aboard this train car that could achieve a similar effect. For example, a bladed strife specibis. There is someone sitting in the galley right now currently in possession of such an item. To not consider all possibilities at this juncture would be irresponsible. Therefore, I suggest the defense call this new witness to the stand. You mean Tagari? Tagari, this Jade Blood accuses you of committing the capital offense of vandalizing a sacred historical artifact which also happens to be a piece of subversive contraband. Do you understand the gravity of this accusation? It is a double crime.
What if I did do it? What? Wild.
What? Is this a confession?
We're just talking hypotheticals here. See, the troll who committed this crime was both nimble with a blade and a true brain genius. And while I will not admit to anything that would incriminate me, based on these attributes, you are right to suspect me. Oh my god, are we really doing this? I must defend my honor. I wouldn't expect a low blood to understand. We're the same blood caste, you absolute dumbass. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her. Joey's not gonna rise to some weak bait like,
just try me.
Let the games begin. Let's engage in a thought experiment. Let's say I did it. Let's say we are having a deeply intellectual exchange of free speech in which the possibility of my participation in such an act would not result in prosecution. In such a model, one might say this crime could not have been accomplished with a third-rate specibis such as a nail file. The cut is too elegant to have been inflicted by a plebeian using a feminine grooming tool. If you are saying this crime was indeed a feat of agility and intellect, then it must have been committed by the most cunning warrior poet on the train. In theory.
Are you satisfied the current witness is obviously trolling the court?
Well,
yeah, aren't we all trolls here?
we sure are.
Anyway, something is still bugging me. Let's go over it again from the top.
If you insist.
But why?
It is the duty of the philosopher to ask questions.
No, I mean, why should we guarantee that you won't get prosecuted? Promising that you won't face consequences for what you say is kind of like giving you special privileges.
I didn't realize this court was being run by a bunch of CJWs. Are you seriously accusing me of high blood privilege?
No, I'm accusing you of being a coward.
I see that I underestimated you. But in order to defeat me in this theoretical paradigm, you must first prove that I had the motive and the means to compensate for your natural deficiencies. I will throw you a bone and admit that.
Stop right there.
Oh my. You dare to cut me off in the middle of a sentence?
Yes, I dare. It's my right as a defensive No, it is extremely rude. What?
Hate to break it to you, kid, but interrupting witnesses is pretty rude.
Let me get this straight. Lying, murder, blackmail, blatant contempt of the court. Okay. Interrupting, definitely out of bounds?
Yeah, what do you think we are? Complete monsters?
Objection! Here, I want you to take a look at this.
It's a 1/25th injection molded polystyrene model of the. Oh, Jesus. 29. And then is that. Oh, whatever. XXIXIIV model Imperial drone last active during the Rustblood zombie rebellion of the Black Age. But of course, everyone knows that.
I didn't. Not until you told me earlier. You never did explain what you were doing near the Jade Lockers, especially since you claim to hate Jade drama so much. Could it be that you were looking for something that belonged to you?
Oh, he's beginning to sweat.
I think I'm starting to get the hang of this.
I. What are you waiting for? Swoop in for the kill.
Of course, if it doesn't belong to you, you wouldn't mind if I tossed it out. Wait. Objection! Well, before you get rolling, let me save you from wasting your breath. Yes, it's very clever for you to have manufactured an anti-alibi out of thin air, but you've made one very serious logical error that I simply cannot overlook.
Oh?
Did you forget the basic conceit of this trial?
Oh. I, I, I think I might have, actually. There's so much going on, it's getting a little hard to follow, haha.
Then let me brief you on the case so far. We are not trying to ascertain who is lurking. We are trying to figure out who broke into Branya's locker. Even if Tagari is the proprietor of this disgusting nerd object, how does that give him a motive?
Sweet obs from the Auto Terror. IDK if the sword boy worth any of our time.
Once again, we arrive at the only logical conclusion based on the evidence presented. Your client is Guilty.
Great.
No.
Now, just a minute, Styles. Give us a chance to mount a rebuttal before gloating. Wouldn't you?
Is that customary under this hip new trial process? I've never known you to postpone gloating under any circumstances.
Of course not. But we're running a lab of sorts here. What kind of experiment would it be if we didn't test all the variables, huh?
Ah, you know just how to sweet talk me. how does his honorable tyranny feel about allowing the defense to mount a rebuttal?
I'll allow it. One chance. Better pick carefully or it's game over, buddies.
Let's take another look at the evidence and see if we can figure out why Tagari was hanging out around the Jade Lockers.
Are you absolutely sure about that?
Yes. Yes, I'm sure.
Well, what you got for us, Joe?
This.
Interesting.
A few years ago, I stepped on my brother's Tiger handheld and cracked the screen. There was no way I could glue it back together, but my babysitter showed me how you could use clear nail polish to seal cracks in delicate surfaces while also preventing further damage. I mean, she didn't put it like that. She explained that nitrocellulose dissolved in butyl acetate would form a clear, flexible varnish over the LCD screen. You can seal hairline fractures without ruining the way something looks.
Smart.
Tagari has done nothing but mock the Jades for their delicate behavior since this case started, so he must have known that one of them would have had something like this in their locker.
Compelling argument, Joe. What to say to witness?
I cannot confirm or deny anything. What?
Oh my god.
What do you mean by that?
Let me explain. While your supposition asserts that the culprit in this case would have to possess advanced reflexes, refined instincts, and intelligence within the top percentile, you have only provided the material motive. You are yet to present a cogent psychological reason to prove Miss Ursama's accusation.
Is this something we really care about?
Of course. You're deeply thirsty for a glimpse into my dark and tortured soul.
It actually sounds like you have a pretty good idea of where you want this to go, so why don't you just tell us?
As expected of a low IQ thin blood, no sense of drama or expense. Why would I hand you the key to my defeat? In the immortal words of the famous philosopher Paterna Bentur, hit me with your best shot.
Well... There we go. I have something that can prove you wanted to read Fresh Teeth. I have your internet history.
How'd you even get that? I mean, how is this going to help your case? All you're going to prove is that I am a genius of the highest caliber who spends his days exploring literary masterworks.
Reading literary masterworks? More like reading cheap exploitative X-rated nonsense. I implore the court to look further at some of these searches. Female rainbow drinker, spades reader, quadrant vacillation, fang femdom. Bioluminescent waifu girls, 2D animated 3D PD. Female rainbow drinker, heart reader, hurt, comfort, Quizilla, XXX, suck me bone dry. Need I go further?
You are making a mockery of my intellectualism. These are searches for only the most serious of scholarly works.
Then, do you care to explain why you were searching for this weird stuff, if not to get your rocks off?
Nothing about my internet history is salacious in the least. Only a noob would call it filthy. But inevitably, I owe you no thorough explanation, for my internet searches relate to only the most sensitive of topics, a man's waifu. And if you're forcing me to reveal my waifu without consent, well, that's essentially challenging me to a duel.
Unless, of course, your waifu is shit. I am proud to say that my waifu lives among the highest of echelons. Even god tier does not suffice to describe it.
It's pretty clear that he didn't do it, but I'm not sure how to proceed. If we dismiss him now, Stousa might just end the trial right there and declare Daria guilty.
Then why not just let him dig his own grave?
Because that wouldn't be right either. I don't want him getting convicted just because he's an idiot. We need to prove Daria innocent by finding the real culprit, not by throwing someone else under the bus.
Interesting take. You're adding challenge variables to my theory of defensive legislation that I hadn't even considered.
They're not challenge variables. We're here to find the truth, right?
Sure. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, exactly.
Then find the whole truth. Should be easy. Just prove that he never read Fresh Teeth.
Right. Let's take it from the top. If it's not salacious, then what is it?
It is dark web contraband, texts that the masses cannot handle. I am a lead hacksaw admin of a virtual library which hosts realms in these forbidden texts.
Okay, so you're trying to make it sound really cool by using all these big words and being abstract and stuff, but to me it just sounds like you enjoy reading naughty novels.
Plebs like you may consider it naughty, but I operate on a higher plane of existence. I understand real literature. I am an expert in all sorts of banned books, from censored cartoons to the edgiest of light novels.
So does that include the Rainbow Emotion Saga? Like you knew about it before this whole train ride?
Of course. What kind of elite level poet warrior would I be if I were not aware of every single banned book that had ever been written?
That seems pretty important. I think you should mention you've been reading filthy books in your testimony.
It's not filthy, it's fine art.
Objection! Is that a threat?
It would be if I considered you worthy of unleashing my blade upon. You are nothing but a squirming wiggler.
Actually, I'd probably be the one dueling you. How would you like to duel? I'm pretty good at stickball. Pretty okay at stickball, even though sometimes I get a little wild with the Q-bat.
Well, while I'm sure you've amassed some physical prowess on account of your sludgy blood and the hand-to-mouth lifestyle of your ilk, I'm afraid an uneducated meathead such as yourself would be obliterated in a duel against me. I would not rush to such hasty provocation if I were you. My duels are duels of the mind, not of muscle.
Yeah, I guess I'm not that smart. Weren't you just talking about using your sword on me?
It was a metaphor. The supreme art of war to subdue the enemy without fighting. Troll philosopher Sun Tzu Sun.
I think he's scared of you. No way, that would be silly.
You would make a suggestion like that, but this simple garbage has absolutely no bearing on the case at hand. Okay. What is even going on?
In that case, can I read you a passage from this book? Go ahead and tell me if you recognize it.
This is beneath me, but I'll do it for the dramatics.
Okay, here we go. The sultry, joint-legged blonde beast meandered up to her brood leader, Gunstar, her hips swaying back and forth. Her chest was covered in the rainbow smears of her fresh kills, of which there were many.
She dropped to her knees before him, her hands clasped in prayer, begging for redemption. Oh, my star brood, how could you have abandoned me like this? I must be taken on your nightly hunt, ejaculated the blonde. I must prove myself before the moon spirit or my mate spirit sword stain will be called. Sound familiar? Of course it's familiar. Obviously, this passage is from the profane text in question. Objection! If you really knew about the Rainbow Emotion Saga, you would know the scene I just read was from a totally different novel. And you've just been duped by Soldier Purbeast, Volume 16, Part 3, The Great Squeak Beast Hunt.
Yeah, Soldier Purbeast is a totally different genre, too. I think he might be lying about knowing all this cool contraband stuff.
Shut your grub chute, you quivering normie bitch! Okay. I am many things. I am handsome, I am hardcore, and I am indescribably badass, but I am no liar! Alright, clap clap, good show, guys and gals. This is all settled. We can all agree get this man off the stand. Did you not hear me? I am many things, but I am no liar. I didn't claim the passage of text was from the Rainbow Drinker novel. I said it was from the profane text in question. That could have meant anything. I was telling the truth. Yes, yes, we all heard you. Now please leave before you make an even bigger fool of yourself. No, I refuse to leave. Don't you understand? I did it. I stole the book from the locker. It was the coolest thing I've ever done, and I looked like an absolute fucking badass as I stalked through the shadows and sniped the forbidden novel like the Bishonen anti-hero thief I am. And I read it. Oh yes, I read it because my brain is the size of a fucking planet and both sides of it are in shadow. I am the dark side. I am the darkness. Oh, jeez. All right. I think we've had enough fun for the day. Let's end this flarp session and are you listening to me? I said I did it. I'm guilty. Guilty. Fucking baller, my buddy. This is some juicy confesh. Fine, if you're so committed to getting called, I may have no chance but to oblige you. But since I'm so nice, I'll give you one more chance to back out before I'm calling the case. Why would I back out? Oh, gosh, this trial's a total bust. Hold it. There's a crucial piece of evidence that's been overlooked. Oh, I'm sorry, I must have missed something. No, it's cool. It's just some insider info I have. Tagari, would you hand me your sword? This blade is my life, my body, my soul. Yeah, just hand it over. I petition his honorable tyranny to acquire it for me. I don't want it to leave my side. Hand it over, Big Bud. She knows what's up. Here. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I have before me the katana our witness claims to have used to steal the contraband item from Miss Ursama's locker. Now, pay close attention. I will draw this sword from its sheath and slice my hand off at the wrist. Surely, if the blade were sharp enough to cut metal, it would be sharp enough to cut through bone. Even with my sad little bookworm muscles applying the force. Shing! Stop! Honeybee, what are you doing? Tysius, no, you need both hands so you can hold things. Oh, it's totally dull. Not even a paper cut. See, no matter how hard I slice myself with it, it fails to cut through even the thinnest part of my wrist. Tagari, this sword is nothing but a cheap knockoff. I think you got this at a Troll Spencer Gifts. No, there must be a mistake. All right, somebody pull him off the stand before he has a fainting spell. You got it. Wait, but if Tagari's sword didn't cut the lock, then what did? Like I said before, this foolish diversion, we've already identified the high-quality nail file found in Daria's locker. And that nail file is Daria's! Huh, alright.
Tear her apart already! Now here's a gal who knows what's up. I'm calling on her to attest. Oh, wait! Before Lynera steps into the stand, I have something really important to say. Hello, everyone. Oh, wow, it's a little scary to be up here in front of all of you. Especially since I have a terrible dramatic secret that will change the whole course of the trial. What sort of terrible dramatic secret, dear? It really hurts to do this, Uwu. I'm close to breaking down. My blood pusher aches, but I cannot stand by and do nothing. You see, in order to protect poor, sweet, innocent Daria, I must present a piece of evidence that maybe might implicate another of my precious friends. I have before me Lynera's secret diary.
Her what now?
Lynera has a secret diary? Excuse me? How dare you? How did you even know about that?
You
Always write in it during our lessons when you think I'm not paying attention. Anyway, contained within our detailed times and dates that prove Daria could not have stolen any part of the Rainbow Emotion Saga, Uwu. Pass over the diary, sweetheart, and let the auditor scrutinize the documents. The relevant timeline starts on page 106. I bookmarked it for you, Uwu. Oh yes, I see. This is an incredibly detailed account of where each jade blood was during the theft. All parties are accounted for, excluding Lynera, of course.
don't keep it to yourself, sis. Share the hot goss.
Of course, I will now read aloud the appropriate passage concerning the accused. And then, Daria had to go toddle off to the Blue Blood car to hit on someone, like the slut she is. She claimed she was just getting a midday snack for 20 whole minutes at 15:30. Someone needs to call her already. She's such a... who makes my... tremble. I just wish she'd disappear. I wish a contrived series of events would have happened in order to excommunicate her from our commune. What is all that? And how are you making that noise with your mouth? Oh, Lynera censors her diary with nail polish, Uwu. That seems counterproductive. I didn't write any of that. Okay, I maybe wrote some of it, most of it, but not all of it.
If this is all true, I think it disqualifies Daria from being the culprit since she was getting a snack during the theft. Yeah, sure. A snack, lol.
Well, this is an exciting development. Thank you very much for sharing this piece of evidence, my dear. Is there anything else you would like to present before the court? No, that's all. I hope it clears some things up, Uwu. While this was extremely helpful, we will have to call Daria up to the stand before I can confirm or deny anything written in this journal. Wait! I'd like to look at the diary before we go any further. There might be some important details inside. I want to call a recess. A recess, but we are at the most exciting part of the trial.
I don't know, I could use an intermission. The anticipation gets you all looped up for the main event. Oh.
Lynera's secret diary is pretty incriminating. Every single jade is accounted for during the theft, except for her. And she certainly got a motive, and probably could have broken the lock. But something doesn't feel right about this.
How so?
I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe it's because we've got nothing to cross-reference. Like we are relying on this one piece of evidence alone. If this journal is the only truth you have, then you've gotta believe in it.
But what if it's not the whole truth?
Then you must discover more of your truth. If something feels wrong, it is your duty to investigate it further and cull your uncertainty before it grows into a monster.
I see. Never mind. Oh. No. Can't believe that was just Tysius, you know what's really going on, don't you? The helpful hints, the winks and nudges to elbow us in the right direction, your extensive notes on the case. Tysius, you know what's really going on, don't you?
Wait, what? How do you get my notes?
We traded them for flashlight batteries.
What the fuck's a flashlight? Whatever. Yeah, I know who did what and who was where, but if you have my notes, you can just read them, right?
Actually, your handwriting is so bad we can't figure out what they say, except for that one page with fan fiction on it.
So what? You think I'll just up and tell you who did it? Hell no. I'm running an experiment and I'm going to see it through to the end without contaminating the results.
Ugh, this is unfair.
But since you went through the trouble of sleuthing out my trial diary, I suppose I can tell you if you're on the right track. Present 2 pieces of evidence to me that prove someone committed a crime, and I'll tell you how right you are. Right, there's the diary. I was looking for it. Ding ding, you got it. Now for the tricky part. Who committed the crime?
It's Wanshi. It was Wanshi.
Explain.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm really confident in my accusation, guys. I want to make sure everybody hears it. Can we start the trial up again?
Hell yeah, we can. Go wreck some shit.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for returning to court on such short notice. Oh, geez, they're all looking at me. I hope I can pull this off. This had better be good. That recess was like 5 minutes max. I'd like to call Wanshi back up to the stand, please.
Your wish is my command, Joe.
Is there a problem, Miss Legislacerator? A big problem, Miss Wanshi. You see, I've discovered something unscrupulous. Oh dear, I hope none of my precious friends turn out to be guilty, Uwu. Your friends? Guilty? No. You're the guilty one, Wanshi. Me? But what have I done? You framed one of your fellow Jades is what you've done. What a ridiculous claim. This delicate sweetheart couldn't even frame a picture. Excuse me. This is a serious accusation, and I am prepared to defend it. Wanshi stole Lynera's diary, falsified the contents within, and presented it to the court to make Lynera look guilty. She wanted Lynera to be convicted. She wanted everyone to know Lynera hated Daria and that Lynera wanted Daria to disappear. But Wanshi made it all up. Oh, please, you cannot possibly prove any of this is Lynera's journal. This Lynera's journal is very clear on the matter. Don't you see? Wanshi altered Lynera's journal, and she was the only one who could do it. We know from the previous testimony that the Jades didn't know Lynera even had a diary. Wanshi was the only person who knew about the existence of it, and also the only person who knew Lynera censored random words with nail polish. Which is super weird, but whatever. All of you were shocked when she presented it before the court, and Lynera treated it as a fact that random passages were blocked out with black nail polish. But Lynera also said that she didn't write everything presented in the passage you read, Stelsa, which means some of it was made up. So all signs point to a frame job perpetrated by Wanshi.
Okay. Snore.
With all due respect, your accusation is wrong. I'm not capable of hurting any of my beloved friends. Woo, I'm perfectly innocent. Objection! As much as the witness may try to deny her guilt, I have irrefutable proof of her crime. I have a sample of her handwriting. Is that from my slow burn Soldier Purby's fanfic journal? If you compare the page I've presented here to Lynera's diary, you can see the striking similarities in penmanship. The swoopy loops on the funny curly letters don't match up with the rest of the entries in the diary, but they do match up with Wanshi's own notebook page.
Wow, where did you get that page?
It was in Tysius's notes.
Where did Tysius get that?
Shh. Ooh. Ah, I guess you caught me. You're right. I wrote fake stuff in Lynera's diary and slathered some extra nail polish in it to make it look like she wanted to shove Daria off the train. Sorry for lying, everyone. Wanshi, how could you? How dare you? You're admitting to it, just like that? Well, yeah, I did it after all, Woo. I had enough fun. I might as well give it up before anyone gets killed. Wait, killed? I thought my plan was pretty clever. I'm surprised you found me out, Woo. Wanshi, you are in for a very thorough scolding once we return home. You will experience limited access to the Soldier Purby's books in our library, no desserts for a perigee, a very long time out. Boo. And confiscate her Hatch to Dance merch, too. Now that's just too far. Are you kidding? She tried to call me! Wait. What is even happening here?
Just some dull interpersonal drama. I'm getting fucking sleepy with all this plagiarism shit, lol. Yeah, I gotta say, this is a pretty dumb conclusion. I thought the climax would be way more exciting.
Conclusion? But we still don't know who stole the book. No, wait, Joey, please don't try and argue.
Nevertheless, I believe my experiment has run its course, particularly if His Honorable Tyranny and most of the court wants to tune out before anyone gets called. Should we call it a day, Honorable Tyranny? Yeah, we done so. What's the formal jargon for the closing ceremony? How about we call it a mistrial? Mistrial called. Let's get out of here. Nice.
What do you mean, mistrial? There was no hemofluid spilled. How am I supposed to be satisfied by this?
Babe, if you need satisfaction, I can provide plenty of that later.
Oh, well, I can't argue with that. Dear, I can't argue with that, I suppose.
Fucking yuck.
What are you guys talking about? Gosh, what about with an anticlimactic ending? I feel like we all learned something important today. I can't tangibly deny what said lesson is, but I'm sure it's critical to our personal development in some way.
Don't stress, Stells. I'll teach you everything you need to know with the longest, hardest lecture you've ever received.
In front of the other passengers? Why, Zizi, you're giving me a case of the vapors.
Wow, I wish I got convicted so I didn't have to listen to this shit.
Shush, Daria. You don't wish that at all. I'm certain you are as glad as I am that everything worked out impossibly well. Now we can be a happy, complacent cloister once again. Friends forever. Best of fucking friends!
Literally call me. This is the worst possible outcome. Seconded.
You know what? Same.
Thanks all for participating in my test trial, and a special hats off to His Honorable Tyranny for running the ring. Yeah, sucks nobody got guilted. KK, later my buddies, thanks for the memories. As for you, my little peppercorn, I'll see you later.
Okay. Well, that didn't turn out like I thought it would. First of all, we didn't even solve the book theft, we just hyper-focused on some other random crime. And secondly, who knew that random crime would be an attempted double framing? It's too bad we didn't figure out who the real culprit was.
Yeah, well, maybe it's best you didn't figure it out.
Huh? Tysius, what exactly do you know?
Come back in a sec. I'm getting my think pen in order. Go talk to the others or something. There's no reason to ever have another conversation. What a colossal waste of fucking time.
Why is the mood in here so weird? Everyone seems pretty disappointed. Is it because we couldn't figure out who actually stole the book?
No, I think they were just expecting a more exciting ending. A mistrial is a pretty weird thing to happen on Alternia. It is kind of a letdown for the audience if there's no gratuitous bloodbath at the end.
Well, geez. They're mad because there wasn't really a bad guy in the story? Sorry I decided to seek justice instead of making it into a fake silly show like Night Court. Even though the whole thing was kind of silly anyway. Yeah, it was kind of silly. But at least nobody got hurt. Hey, Lynera. What do you want? Do you want me to thank you? No? I guess a thank you would be nice, because that's just being polite. But I know that wasn't fun for anybody.
Are you okay?
Not that it's any of your business, but no. How am I supposed to go back to the caverns after learning how much all my friends hate me?
Lynera, you already know we hate you. You complain about it literally all the time.
Incredible how sweeps of backstabbing and lies can sour a relationship. I hate all of you too. Wanshi, why did you do it? Gosh, what an unfair question. Ooh. But the answer is simple, really. You try living with that bitch 26 hours a day. Wow. Do you feel that? Here, put your hand on my chest. That's my pusher. I don't know if it's ever going to go back to normal.
Don't talk to me. I must retreat to lick my wounds, and it's profane for you to gloat over me while I do so.
That was quite enough excitement for the entire vacation, I think. Oh, Tysius, what will I do with you? Phew, that was stressful. I can't wait to leave this planet and spend the rest of my life in a library where I will never talk to another troll unless they're on the other side of an interrogation chamber. I'm very happy for you.
That was quite the show. There could be something to this radical theory of hers. Besides for the free to attend aspect. I personally would have charged for the whole performance.
Are you kidding? The justice system isn't some silly theater production. It's for the people.
And the people demand entertainment, yes? Otherwise, what's the point of making the entire spectacle public? It's hypocritical to run a circus and then forbid the audience from buying popcorn.
You really knew everything, huh? Like the whole time?
Yeah.
You knew that once she tried to frame Lynera, that Daria didn't do it, that Tagiri is a total moron who tried to make himself out to be a thief for some reason?
For no reason. Yep. And I bet you know who really stole the book from the locker.
Care to tell us who?
know. Someone who deftly sidesteps the legal system like that deserves the utmost respect, and I won't out them. They drove you all like a herd of wool beasts. It was rad.
That's pretty corrupt behavior for a lawyer? For all your talk about truth and justice and stuff, why are you protecting a liar?
Because the liar isn't necessarily the one that needs to be punished. The point of the law is not solely to punish the wicked, but rather to keep the tenuous balance of order in society. And with a mistrial, the order was kept. There was no chaos, no fighting, no hurt feelings. But if I revealed the thief, it'd be an entirely different stickball game. If the thief were someone's friend, if they were a cornerstone of the community, if they were declared guilty, it'd be sheer fucking chaos.
Yeah, but you're not actually presenting the truth then? That's pretty sketchy.
Nothing about the mistrial was a lie. You presented the truth and only the truth. I made sure of it. There were multiple truths dueling in your case, and the one that maintained the most order rose to the top. And thus, my experiment was a smashing success. If I can recreate this scenario over and over again, maintaining order, allowing each case to work out their issues through court dramatics, evening out the playing field for all hemocasts, forgetting about this guilty until proven innocent garbage, I think that'd be pretty revolutionary, don't you? Thanks for gifting me a veritable boatload of evidence for my law theory, by the way. I'm totally gonna ace my senior sweep legislacerator thesis now.
You're welcome? I don't think I understand how your thesis is a good thing. Oh, but it's so cool! I could never have imagined in a million sweeps that the court could maintain order and solve problems? I guess on this screwed up planet it is a pretty crazy idea. Maybe you could make things better for everyone. I'm glad we could help you in that case, even though you jerked us around for your stupid experiment.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
Good luck changing the world, Tysius.
I'll try my damnedest.
Gosh, that was crazy. I'm really glad to be out of there.
Me too.
I think the worst part about it is, it was so unnecessary. All the Jade's infighting and drama and cliquishness led into something really ugly. All of that could have been avoided if they just put on their get-along shirt.
I don't even think a really big shirt could fix all their drama. But maybe if they were more willing to lie down and take it, things would have been better.
No way! Think about Daria! She didn't want to do anything, and she almost got sent to Clown Town because of her inaction.
I guess that's true. Maybe there's no good way to solve their problems at all. Even if they talk it out, it still won't make them like each other, no matter how much they insist they're friends.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad situation all around.
Too bad they're all stuck together in a cave tending to our life-giving ovipositor matriarch, otherwise I'd suggest they leave and make new friends.
Oh? You mean someone in a nasty relationship should get out of that relationship?
Why are you looking at me like that?
Like if one of your best friends is going behind your back and being mean to you, you should make a new friend?
Yeah?
Come on, Zephyros, you can do it. Connect some dots.
Joey, I think I'd know if I had a best friend who did bad things behind my back, or called me derogatory names all the time, or knew every single detail about my life so they could blackmail me, or force me to do real weird rituals that hurt me. Oh.